Today I wanted to go over two incredibly easy methods for you guys to farm up the Dark Aether and get some of those rarest acquisitions in the game. Not only after the Season 1 Reloaded update is the loot in here better, but it's also way easier than I think a lot of people think. So with that, welcome on back to the channel, everybody. If y'all don't know, my name is Ghost. I appreciate everybody stopping on by the video today. If you're into zombies content or anything Call of Duty, please do consider dropping the video a like and subscribing to the channel, man. We just hit 10,000 subscribers today, and I cannot thank you guys enough for all the support lately. Now, when I came in here, I did end up using an Elder Sigil, so we are in the Elder Dark Aether, and I did bring in one of those turret mods so that way I could go ahead and kill this mega abomination that spawns right in the front of the gates here. This is definitely a good thing for you guys to do because these things lately have been dropping ether tools and flawless crystals and things like that, so definitely be sure to do this. Now we're going to use our Scorcher and boost up to our very first contract, and this is what I'm going to be using mainly for this run here is going to be the Scorcher case, especially since I'm in the Elder Dark Aether. Now when I'm doing a Dark Aether run with the Scorcher, I like to start off with the ether extractors, not only because it's easiest for you to do with the Scorcher because you can just boost up to each one of the ether extractors, but after you complete the contract, it's also going to be really easy for you to jump down and grab the Mr. Peaks bunny that starts the Holdout mission. When you're coming into the Dark Aether, be sure that you have your decoy grenades equipped and that you actually have some on you. I've noticed that if you ran out of them and if you don't have any equipped on you, when you enter into the Dark Aether, they'll actually remove those from your inventory. Like, you won't have that placement spot for the decoy and you'll be looking around in the Dark Aether for another tactical to use. So just make sure that you actually have a couple of those equipped when you're coming in here. Also, the monkey bombs were just buffed with the update too. They're now going to last 8 seconds instead of 6, and the blast radius and everything is bigger. So yeah, be sure to use the monkey bombs. While doing this second one here, we ended up going down, but that's okay. That's what we brought in all these self revives for. And even if you guys have a dog bone, I would still advise you guys to stock up on at least like 2 self revives, because the dogs I've noticed after the update have been dying pretty quick in the Dark Aether, especially here in the Elder. So it's just better to be prepared than sorry. I kind of posted up here so I could look down and kind of see what I'm dealing with enemies at the bottom, but jump down here dealing with the last one. And I did end up having to deal with a disciple that was down here just hovering around this thing, but with these stingers, man, he went down really fast. If you haven't tried the stingers yet in the akimbo, man, these things are absolute monsters. They kind of remind me of the swarms, but they got a little bit more power. I think just the mag size is lacking just a little bit. But after finally dealing with this guy and getting this contract complete, we ended up with the dog bone schematic and a dog bone, a self res, and a perk. Now if you're going to be coming into the Dark Aether and if you're going to want to be getting all of the schematics, you're going to have to complete all of the contracts, because this is one of the only absolute guaranteed things in this game mode. Is if you're coming into the Elder Dark Aether, the very first contract is going to give you the dog bone, the second contract is going to give you the golden armor plate, and the third contract is going to give you the ether blade. But it doesn't matter what order that you do the contracts in, but that's the order that you're going to get the rewards in. Now since the update, I've noticed that doing the escort mission as a solo with the VR11 has been extremely hard. I've tried it a couple times now and I keep failing. I have noticed a couple other content creators that have been trying as well, and it hasn't really been working out too well for them either, so it doesn't make me feel too terrible. But I'm sure we will figure out how to solo this thing again very, very soon. But if you guys really want just an easy way to get this thing done, I would just advise you to gather up a team, or even just getting a bunch of randoms and bring them in here to do this with you. It's gonna go over way easier. So now we're just gonna grab this bunny for the Holdout mission and boost up into the area where it's at. Now I really do find this to be one of the easiest missions to complete in the Dark Aether, especially as a solo player. You don't really have to worry about distracting any zombies and stuff like that. Just bring in like a meta weapon or something, or at least something that you feel comfortable with and good using, and you guys should be okay. And also the ether blade really does help you out a lot for doing these things. But as long as you're spending most of your time up on the balconies and not taking the stairs and always constantly jumping over the sides, you should be okay and be able to get this Holdout mission done easily. I would just advise you guys to be sure to be taking out as many zombies as you can, because there has been a couple of times when I jump over the sides that I just get overcrowded at the bottom. But after completing this guy here, we got another Elder Sigil, which is cool. We can bring somebody else in here, maybe they need something, and we got our golden armor plate schematic plus the golden armor plate acquisition. Not too bad. And right after this, we can actually just walk straight out the door and boost right up to the exfil. And I absolutely love the Scorcher. It makes doing things in this game mode so easy. But yeah, not too bad of a haul. We got some schematics, we got a couple acquisitions, we got some pretty good stuff on this run, and it was really, really easy. If you guys have a Scorcher case, you can make the Dark Aether or the Red Zone. Honestly, almost doing anything in Modern Warfare Zombies incredibly easy. But now we're going to be coming back into the Dark Aether, and this time we're not in the Elder builder. We're just in the regular dark ether with a regular sigil, but I'm gonna be bringing in the tier akimbo snake shot pistols. I have absolutely all of my perks, and running with my fists out is gonna be one of the main things I'm gonna be doing here. As long as you have stamina up and your fists out, you should be able to deal with anything or any zone in this game, and also equip yourself with throwing knives if you don't have an ether blade. Throwing knives are great for those unexpected zombies that just get right up in your face, plus you can just turn around really fast and hit those hellhounds with them and they'll just explode in one hit. Or with the ether blade, if you have zombies or hellhounds that are behind you, you can throw it right at your feet. You don't even have to turn around. But with plenty of map knowledge and making use of your zip lines and jumping off of buildings and stuff, like you can see here, I jumped off the top of the fortress over here to grab the bunny on top of the building. You guys should have no problems being able to doing any of this stuff without like wonder weapons or any of those like overpowered stuff. You can do a lot of this with just your fists and a good gun. Now you're gonna notice I almost do this one in the same pattern as I did in the first run, but this one's gonna be a little bit different because I'm on feet, and if you watch exactly what I do here, I'm gonna be taking the best path for you guys to do this. See, after climbing up on this part of the fortress right here, you can just jump down and glide towards the second one. Now you're just gonna have to run up a couple of stairs. Sometimes there will be a couple zombies in here, but most of the time I'm cool. It's once you get to the top, you might have a couple of them like guarding that doorway, but if you're carrying something like an ether blade or hell, even regular throwing knives, you guys should be okay. Try and get this second one here, and we ended up going down again, but that's all right. Like I said before, that's what we bring in all these self revives for. But after we got this second one done, we're gonna make our way to the very top of the fortress right up here, and we're gonna jump down to the third one. Usually, since I'm all the way up here on this second ether extractor, there isn't a bunch of zombies already spawned in down there on the third one, so it makes that one a little bit easier to do. But that wasn't really our luck this time. But after clearing these zombies out and getting this third one done, this is crazy, man. We got all 3 levels of crystals out of this. We got a raw, we got a refined, and we got a flawless. That is insane. But after getting these ether extractors done, we're gonna turn around and just jump off the back of the fortress and grab the holdout bunny that's sitting in the front of the bus here. If you guys are still struggling with anything in the dark ether, like placements for the bunny contracts, or if you guys want to know where all the keys are, maybe the doghouse or where the floating orb is, I'm gonna put up a map on the screen right now just so you guys know where everything is at. And big shout out to MWZHUB.gg. They're the ones that put together all of these maps. If you guys want to know anything about the regular zombies map, or maybe even over on Warzone if you're into that mode, yeah, link is going to be down in the description. I highly recommend you guys go check them out. We're gonna run up in here and get this holdout mission done, and this is just like any other one, just like the previous one that we did. Just stay alive, stay up on the rails, jump off the edge, same thing. Only this time we're actually in here with even better weapons because I didn't have a wonder weapon, so completing this one was pretty damn easy. Now, unfortunately, this contract was an absolute dud and didn't give me shit, but that's all right. We're gonna move on and go get one of the wonder weapons. So if you guys come to this house that's towards the west side of the map, the key is gonna be in the bottom of the house sitting on the table, and that's gonna unlock the barracks door that's next to the museum. And we ended up getting a ray gun case. Man, I wish it was any other wonder weapon, but oh well, I'll take it. Now there's 2 different exfils that you guys can go for. There's one directly underneath the museum, or you can make your way to the top of the fortress. Personally, I usually like going to the top of the fortress so that way I can just kind of check out my loot for a second. Usually if you go to the one that's underneath the fortress, there's going to be a lot of zombies that are chasing you, and they're just going to be everywhere, and you got to kind of run into the exfil right away. But to be fair, I don't think that this was a bad run at all. We ended up getting an elder sigil, 2 refined crystals, a flawless crystal, 2 ray gun packs, a legendary ether tool. Man, we actually made out pretty good. So that is going to be about it, guys. That is how you can solo the dark ether after the season 1 reloaded update. Maybe get yourself some of those schematics and some of those rarest acquisitions. I greatly appreciate all the support that you guys have been showing me recently. You guys are honestly changing my life already. I cannot thank you enough. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Take care, and I will catch you in the next one.